Ah, good morning.
Hello!
It is a good morning, isn't it?
Good morning to you.
Or perhaps you mean good morning in another way.
Good
Hello,
morning.
everybody. I'm Pixel,
I
joined
am.
with Landry Q. Walker. It's been a little while, but we're back for our book club reviews. We were on a fantastic journey with an unexpected party. And we're back to hopefully finish it up within the next two weeks, I think it is, after this. Yeah. Going through chapters 13 through 15. It has, like I said, it has been a little while, so I had to reread chapters
That's
13
my fault.
through 15. It's okay. Life takes us away sometimes. It's a good thing I reread them though, because I didn't remember anything really, other than the parts that'll come up in what is it, fire and water. Other than the parts in that, didn't remember a ding dang thing.
Well, it was good for me to go back to it too. Let's see where.
We're on Not at Home.
Not at home.
Because it's after Smaug has been tricked, we could say, and he believes that this is the work of the people down at the lake town.
Not entirely wrong in his defense. They're related to it.
They wanted the dwarves to go to the mountain, and they had songs about it, but it's not them who sent them there.
Well, they did help them along the way, and they did so. Yeah, go get rid of the dragon. We'd love that.
Yeah.
They participated, and I mean, Bard even says as much. But we'll get to that chapter. We're not at that chapter yet.
Not yet. No, we're on Not at Home, which has Bilbo bumbling around in the dark after a few days of waiting and seeing if the dragon's going to try to strike again, but Smaug isn't there. Where could Smaug be?
This has, for me, a bit in it that I hadn't noticed before. I was rereading. I've read it many times, but it's been a long time. It's the most Lord of the Rings sort of moment to me. And it's a small thing in that Bilbo's like, we need breakfast. And Balin is like, yeah, let's go on a 6-hour march to an old fort. And I'm like, there it is. There's the Lord of the Rings niche of it. And Bilbo's like, oh my God, seriously, dudes. What is up with you dwarves?
Well, I do whenever they finally, Bilbo's convincing them, help, I'm stuck in the dark. Because he got so enamored with the Arkenstone for a minute.
Yes.
And he just pockets that away. I do like when they finally go down and Balin's like, yeah, no, it's finally time that we lend him a hand, I think.
Yeah.
And they go, they light, and they're exploring. Oh, I love exploration like this. You know, where they're in a place that's familiar, but long forgotten.
What's great is we don't know, as readers, of the first-time readers, we don't know what happened to Smaug.
No.
He's just not there. He's
just
gone. He's like, we knew he took off, but oh God, he could come back anytime. And they're sitting there fumbling around a treasure, getting all like, oh, look, I got a fancy crown. Well, I've got a nice shirt. Like, it's a bad plan, which Balin and Bilbo both rightfully point out later, going, hey, the dragon's still out there, which of course he wasn't, but they didn't know that. It is just this like terminally long scene in a way that works wonderfully well because it's just tension.
It's hard from this perspective of already knowing what's going to happen, but there is this sense of something's off because the dragon's not there. It's not wrong because it's a good thing, but it's wrong in the sense of what we should expect.
I love just how much it emphasizes that they had no plan. And Bilbo says as much
Nothing.
earlier, like, what was I supposed to steal
All.
time? But there's no plan, and there's no way they could have ever done anything but dwarf. This is one of the things, and I know we could contend about this, where I enjoyed the Hobbit movies, but they had lots of flaws, and one of which was this depiction where they battle Smaug for this like extent. And when talking movies, you have to say Smaug. They battle Smaug for ages, coating him in gold and all this stuff. It's like, no, if they had walked down there and Smaug had been there, they would have just been dead.
Yep.
Like, there's no, and they were too afraid to join him because they knew they would just die, and they knew he had a magic ring. So it's like, you go, it's your job. You signed the contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love that bit where he reminds, I think this is a part of your what we hired you for as a burglar.
Which is
an
previous
investigator.
chapters, but still it informs where we are now, because there's just so much of that begrudging, like, you go, and they're watching and they just refuse to go out, and they refuse to light torches at first until finally they're like, I guess we're okay. And
Yeah.
it takes Bilbo stomping up and down, light, light, light. It's a great chapter.
And then, but the chapter I really love is what follows this.
Okay, let's hear
which
it.
is Fire and Water.
Hmm?
Because it starts, now if you wish, like the dwarves, to hear news of Smaug, you must go back again to the evening when he smashed the door and flew off in rage 2 days before. It is, God, nobody writes like this anymore. Not really, you know? And there's something so comforting in that. There's another one where it says, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's so great. I wish more people would write like that.
I was very bored with this scene when I was a kid.
Really?
When I was little. Anytime it wasn't dwarves or hobbits, or wizards, I did not care.
When the old thrush came in and spoke to, because
when I was
like, race of
when I was like 7 years old, there was nothing in The Hobbit that was more boring than a city full of humans. Like, that was not what I signed on for. As an adult, reading it now, like, oh yeah, this is great. Again, very Lord of the Ringsy in that chapter. Yes, of course, the thrush speaking, and Black Arrow, you have served my family well, sort of thing. Like, you're talking to your arrow, dude. That's great. I love it. The way you realize that. I didn't realize when I was younger, because I was so not interested, and I just kind of skimmed this chapter, just how great the destruction is. I was like, they should have been happy because 75% of them had lived. Like, he says that's in this book.
Yeah.
Only 25% of these people died. They should have been celebrating.
Yeah, and they killed the dragon, I mean,
1 out of every 4 people in Lake Town was dead.
Yeah,
and
but
right, basically, where's their gratitude, eh?
All things considered,
you're not wrong.
Survived.
No, that's the thing. That
all their cattle in even though the place was destroyed, all their cattle and something else, everything they need to survive, it's still okay.
They could live. They could rebuild. I'm not criticizing it. I'm not criticizing it. It underscores just how dire the situation truly was. And Tolkien is honestly saying, yeah, that was pretty good. Only 1 out of every 4 died. It's a win. Like, okay. It hits hard. For what is always dismissed as a kid's book, and is a kid's book, but it's a kid's book that doesn't shy away from everybody lost somebody. Yeah. Death was a familiar topic to these people. Like, oh, okay. Well said. Well written.
And then we get to destruction, or the beginnings of it, as the gathering of clouds comes. Because after that, we get back to Bilbo and the dwarves, and they're going ahead. Something strange is happening. I wish I could talk to the ravens. I love the talking ravens. Oh, It's so great. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. The old thrush speaking's like, okay, it doesn't actually have any lines for us to really sink in on. But here, it comes, it's too excited, they can't understand. Old thrush goes, grabs one of the last surviving great ravens of the mountain. It comes back. I remember hearing tales of the old king under the mountain.
Is there any scene better in The Hobbit than than Balin basically trash talking the crows, by the way?
Yeah,
And Bilbo like, oh yeah, I understood them too. And Balin's like, right? Yeah. And these things he said, and Bilbo's like, yeah, those things they said, whoo, bad. It's hysterical. And it's so dryly told. It's so throwaway. And you actually realize like the exchange as it's happening there is just freaking hysterical as Bilbo is faking that he can understand bird.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. It's great. And then we get to what should we say? It's like the beginning of madness in Thorin a little bit.
Yeah, this gets to like my biggest criticism I've always had with The Hobbit. I know I've mentioned on this podcast thing we do here before, but the Arkenstone just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like it would have been great if when he's in the first one, he's like, and I must reclaim the Arkenstone.
But even that, like, that's not what I feel. I know there is that obsession line in the back of his mind, but it's the amount of greed that comes. And some of the things that he's saying is fair. Bard admits it too. Like, no, I understand that. Yeah, but I'm of the line of the last great king of Dale, and we did help you. Go ahead. And now we're kind of destroyed because you came up here.
They're really just asking for a 12th. Yeah. They're asking for 1/12 share.
They're looking for yeah. But on top of that, the Elven King coming, that didn't help because
and honestly, understandably.
Yeah.
Because the Elven King, I mean,
kept him in prison for months, wasn't it?
Yeah. Weeks at least. I don't know how long it's supposed to be, but it's a long time.
Yeah, because Bilbo was just hopping around eating scraps of food for many, many nights until he came up with a plan with the barrels.
With the ring the whole time, by the way, in Mirkwood, while Sauron is just to the south, probably going, I know it's here somewhere.
No thinking about that yet. But no, with Thorin going ahead and being like, no, listen, till you get those elves back to the woods where they belong. I'm not going to parlay with you.
Honestly, understandable.
That's where it gets hard. That's where it gets gray. That's where it gets gray because there is the greed that Thorin is having at this moment. But there's also truth in what he's saying. Like, no, they kept him in prison for months. Just because they ended up near there.
Yeah.
Just because they were in the woods. Yeah. They didn't do anything wrong. Not really.
I've always disliked, I mean, that of course was... The Wood Elves. Yeah, the Wood Elves. Like, I didn't really ever connect that Elrond and his people were elves the same way. The Wood Elves were the elves to me in capital E when I read this book when I was like 7. And so I did not like the elves. And then of course the animated, the Rankin Bass animated gives you these really crazy designs for the elves. The wrinkly, so the elves, I just did not have any empathy for them. I thought they were just jerks. And it was really hard in Lord of the Rings for me to get past that, actually. Elf. I mean, Legolas is the son of this jerk elf.
No, I didn't even think about that. But that last line where it's like, this whole place stinks of dragon, he grumbled to himself. And it makes me sick, and cram is beginning to simply stick in my throat. Man, nothing sounds more unappealing than that bread. Uh,
Oh God, I think it sounds delicious. I do, but okay.
it exists as a food for chewing. There's no flavor.
That sounds so good to me.
Why?
Because here's the thing, I have a very poor sense of taste. All my enjoyment in food is texture based. So I like dry cake like things. I like give me like just you give me like a hard biscuit type thing to chew on. That's something I like.
I
Yeah.
had COVID for like a week and I lost all sense of taste. I was going mad.
Oh, I bet.
I live off of taste. I can get through bad texture if the taste is good enough.
I'm all like I it's not that I don't have any sense of taste. It's just I think a very weak sense of taste. So I either make my food incredibly spicy or like like
So you feel
absurdly,
it.
yeah, or I want texture. And so I was literally reading about the cram going, I want some of that. That sounds really good. Like something like,
Well, if you take a bunch of saltine crackers and no, I'm sorry. You need unsalted saltine crackers, then you
right.
have it.
I think I have to take them and crush them together into just a cake. Let it dry out.
Oh my
And
god,
it's super dense
I
cake.
would try that though.
So it's like a cracker that's like this thick.
Mm-hmm. That's how I've always that's how I've always imagined. Yeah.
Whereas I always imagined Lembas bread tasted like cinnamon Pop Tarts.
I had a friend for a little while who his girlfriend made limbus bread and made it with honey, drizzled it. It was perfect. It was delicious every single time. I only got to have it like 3 times, and now it's not that we're not friends. He's not at where I was anymore. And
well, find him and make him bring that. Did he move to California by any chance?
No.
Damn it.
No. This is somewhere else in Florida.
So it really is a great section of chapters. It takes you. I mean, it's amazing how quickly this story moves, and each one of them is just a completely different flavor. It's interesting. Speaking of flavors,
so next week we have the decision. Do we want to go the next 3 and then the week after the final chapter and talk about the book as a whole, or do we want to do all 4 next week?
I think 3 and then 1 is a good idea.
I think that's a good idea too.
That gives us a little more time to focus at the end.
Yes. Reflect on the journey with our new friends. I like that idea. So next week, join us for chapters 16, 17, and 18 of The Hobbit. And we'll be here. But until then, thank you so much and a good morning.
Good morning to you.
But how do you mean?